Don't worry, I won't make it gross. Everybody poops. We were taught this growing up, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm not the only one that hates it. Like, I got places to be, people to see. All right, maybe I'm just gonna be watching YouTube videos, but still, I'd rather be doing that instead. In part 1, I talked about bidets for about 7 minutes straight, which is a nice, cheap upgrade you can get to improve your life. But that's not today. No, no, no. Last video, just clickbait. Today, we're gonna talk about the real game changer, the GOAT, the real MVP of bathroom luxury. Soluble fiber. Oh, and in case I'm not clear, just like in part 1, this is not sponsored in any way. I can't speak for you, but growing up, I had an American diet. I'm talking waffles or Pop-Tarts for breakfast, something like Lunchables or grilled cheese for lunch, and then something beefy like burgers or meatloaf for dinner. And if I ever ate a vegetable, let's see, does pizza count as a vegetable? Well, half the time it just was a starch. And that means, well, there's no polite way to say it. The process of wiping was a real pain in the ass.
Sometimes when I wipe, I'll wipe and I'll wipe and I'll wipe and I'll wipe 100 times. Still poop, still poop.
Let me check that.
It's like I'm wiping a marker or something.
Wiping until clean, you know, the way it's supposed to work, was kind of an impossible task. At some point, you would just kind of give up and assume that it was good enough. Anyone ever heard of skid marks? I mean, that's where they come from. Granted, this is long before I knew about bidets, but even that alone wouldn't fix the core of my issue. Now go ahead, hey, stop there. You don't have to worry about making that comment. I know you're about to ask.
Why not just improve your diet? Not only would that have fixed your issue, you would have had so many other health benefits.
And to that I would say, nah. But for real, I just assumed this was all normal. I didn't know I could expect anything better. People didn't talk about this shit. Like, once you get to a certain age, they stop supervising every activity in the bathroom. I didn't question why the sun was in the sky, and I didn't question why pooping was a real pain in the ass. It's just the way of the universe. But then, something changed. After spending my whole life just dealing with it, it was probably the 2010s when I started hearing about celebrities. They were getting this boutique treatment to clean themselves out. It was like an oil change, but for their butt. It was called a colonic. But what is a colonic, I hear you asking? I'm happy you did. A colonic is the practice of using water as a form of therapy to flush waste from the colon. It dates back as far as 1300 BC. An ancient Greek medical text called Eber Papyrus extols the virtues of cleaning the colon via the rectum. Oh, you wacky Greeks. It's not even a real book, it's just a phone stuck inside of a thing. It's not to say it was like a massive craze where literally everybody in like your 3rd grade teacher was doing it, but pop culture was making me aware that it exists.
So you got colonics every day?
Every day. Yes, every day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
It's not.
Sounds bad, though.
It's not my favorite, but...
Speaking of horrible medical procedures...
Yes.
I mean, they like the claim it would like remove toxins and improve your health in like some really suspicious ways. Probably all bullshit. They did like this is like chiropractic level pseudoscience.
There we go. Oh my God!
But despite that, the idea of getting a clean slate, like, it had me rethinking the whole game. Now, I could have taken this moment to thinking about diet and exercise, but I went a whole different direction. Flashback to like 2015 or something. I'm at a family holiday gathering. I'm making small talk with everyone, and my passing curiosity for colonics comes up. You know, like you do at Thanksgiving. Well, my sister-in-law was there, and she's like a legit doctor. And she was really confused why I would ever want to do some treatment like that. I was sharing the marker analogy that Starlord over here was making earlier. She laughed and told me, just take fiber supplements, like Metamucil. That'll do what you're looking for way better anyway. And there it was, the missing piece of the puzzle. I was given a real alternative that I never thought was worth trying. Like, I thought that stuff was for old people. But there I was, I made it in my 20s, and I was willing to give it a try. I mean, shit, I'll give most things a try at least once. I mean, before we go any further, I feel like I need to explain how this shit works. Shit, you know, like, because we're talking about fiber, yeah? Oh, okay, all right, fine. Oh my God, it's so big, it's like I'm wearing my dad's lab coat. All right, so the first and largest ingredient is something called psyllium husk. Psyllium? Psyllium?
Psyllium.
Oh, it's psyllium. I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious I'm not a real scientist, but what is psyllium? Psyllium is a soluble fiber used primarily as a gentle bulk-forming laxative in products such as Metamucil. It comes from shrub-like herb called Puntago ottava that grows worldwide, but is most common in India. Each plant can produce up to 15,000 tiny gel-coated seeds from which psyllium husk is derived. It's plant gel that turns into watered-down Nickelodeon gack inside your guts. Does that make sense? And that's about it, really. The rest of the ingredients are there just for like citrus flavor and coloring. I guess that makes sense, because I mean, people don't really like swallowing a colorless, cloudy gel, so, you know, makes it go down smooth. If you let this stuff settle inside of a glass of water for a long time, the gel will like solidify into like this orange rubbery flubber toy.
It's flubber!
You don't want to drink that. That wasn't that bad. But if you drink it in a timely manner, then instead of forming at the bottom of the cup, well, it forms inside you. There, the slime will push itself through and bring all the stuck-on crap you got hanging around on your insides. Or, that's what I assume it's doing. I feel like I've been pretty clear that I'm not like an actual smart guy. Like, I'm making YouTube videos about poop. I mean, I think it's really clear. I guess I should probably take this thing off then. That's better. These products and some of the research claim a lot of different health benefits that like might be real. I got no idea. I keep finding stuff that contradicts the other stuff, so I'm just gonna go ahead and speak to the helps me poop well part. When you go to the store, there are like a lot of different options out there. Like just look at this photograph. Decision paralysis central right here. It's worth noting that there are plenty of other products that don't even use the jelly psyllium husk stuff, but it's the whole gel package that really changes the game for me. That's why I picked Metamucil, or more realistically, the generic alternative, since it's like so much cheaper and it still uses the same psyllium husk active ingredient. A single teaspoon, or a third of a tablespoon, is the official serving size for a normal 8-ounce glass of water, which is surprisingly about half the amount of water that is inside of one of these standard water bottles. So to get your recommended 2 to 3 servings per day, you can add 1 teaspoon to a small amount of water 3 times a day, or you can add 1 tablespoon to a big cup of water once a day. That's up to you. How do you drink? Then see how it feels. Keep at it for 3 to 4 days. If you don't feel a change, then go ahead and bump it up. Me? I'm an advanced user. I drink from a big cup. So I use a tablespoon and I try to get about 2 of these per day. Pro tip, I leave my tablespoon scoop inside the Metamucil jar. It holds itself up in the powder just fine. I've always got the right measuring scoop ready to go, and since it only ever touches the powder, it can go right back inside no problem. The product has to be mixed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The commercial shows a big tall glass with a spoon, but who the hell wants to dirty a spoon every time? And if you drink slow, it'll all settle back down to the bottom, needing to be mixed up again. This is probably the biggest downside of the product, and the most likely reason someone would just not do it at all. This is why I either used a tumbler like this, which had a straw that I could use to do the re-stirring, or, even better, I upgraded to one of these plastic bottles that has a sealable lid. Close it down and shake it up, and we're back in business. So just to be clear, unless you're drinking many small batches or are just flat out chugging it, you're gonna want some way to keep it mixed. Pro tip, you don't want a container that's easy to clean. Eventually little pieces of gel will dry on the sides, and if you use a narrow bottle like this, it can be a real pain in the ass to clean. And again, I can see how this would turn people away, but believe me, it's worth it. There's this like citrusy taste they add, which to me is like super mild, but that's probably because I get the sugar-free kind. I mean, it's no Sunny D is what I'm trying to say. Prior to Metamucil, I have already been using water flavoring for years, so I've just been adding my drops like usual. The fiber flavor is so mild, it's just basically unnoticeable. If the gel is mixed properly, you shouldn't notice any texture at all when you're drinking, Though it's worth noting that they only recommend cold beverages because the gel will form up faster instead of hot beverages. And if it does fully gel, it can be really hard to mix again or almost impossible. How to describe the results. All right, take it easy. Well, it's fast, like surprisingly fast. You'll be done before your social media feed pulls up on your phone. It's clean. Everything just stays together. And it's super satisfying. I know you're gonna look.
Everybody looks.
You'll be so impressed with yourself. You know, this might actually be a better way of explaining it. I think that's the best explanation you'll get on this video. I wouldn't want to scare anybody away. Let's be real. I mean, I wouldn't want to scare any more people away. $1 million question. Does it work? Well, yeah, I wouldn't have made the video if it didn't work. What are you thinking? But while the product works, I could see how some people might not fit it into their life. Like, absolutely yes, it takes care of that one really annoying part of being a human. It makes it literally quick and painless versus the alternative, at least for people like me. So if you are like me and Mario over here and you want to improve the qualitative aspects of your life, then I say go for it. I think it's worth it. But it may not be worth it to everybody. Not everyone drinks the same amount of water the way that I drink water. And other people probably have more balanced diets so they don't have the same bathroom problem in the first place. I mean, if this is my big hurdle in life, then I'll get over it. I've been recommending this stuff to people for years. I've had some friends who started out loving the results, but couldn't keep it in their daily routine forever. And for them, maybe they just want a seasonal cleaning. Like that's what the whole colonic was supposed to be anyway. Once you get your routine down, you should be all set, whether that's the temporary routine or long-term routine. That should wrap up this series, so if you're combining it with part 1, then you're basically at like max level when it comes to upping your shit game, so way to go, you legend, alright? Nice job. And hey, go ahead and feel free if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. I'll do my best to monitor this. My last video's top and only comment was question mark, 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 exclamation mark. So let's keep the conversation going, all right? I've been having a blast making these videos. I'm always trying to make them better. If I can entertain somebody or maybe help somebody out with a problem they've been having, then hey, it's all worth it. But it would be way more worth it if at least a couple of 100 people watched it. You know, like it's a lot of work, okay? Give me a break. I don't know yet what my next video is gonna be on. It won't be bathroom related. And hopefully it won't take me over a month to make it. Don't be making that face at me, come on. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.